Hey everybody and welcome to a new vlog. So this week I am going to be focusing mainly on Blood Over Bright Haven, which I didn't bring with me for this clip, unfortunately. So that's going to be the main focus. That's what I'm going to be reading throughout the week, and then I'm going to be listening to the Poison song, and then hopefully getting some other stuff out of the way as well throughout the week. For example, Alone in Space, I'm very close to finishing that one out, and I still have to do my roll for the star prompts, which that one I'm hoping I can be able to fit in another graphic novel for that one, because that's the only book I have on my TBR that actually has birds on the cover, so it would be ideal to have that kind of luck with the rolls, but you know, otherwise I'll just have to keep on rolling until I get there and use those other prompts for other clusters, I guess. But so today I am about to go and walk probably to my parents' place for dinner there and for lunch there. We're gonna have Chinese, which I love, and then afterwards I'm going to Inside Out 2 with my nephew. So I'm having another busy day. I'll only be back here in the evening, so I'll probably still get some reading done at that point in time, because you know we're going to the 5 o'clock movie, so it's not like it'll be over like when it's over I don't have to immediately go to bed, you know, so I'll still get some reading done at that point in time. But this weekend has not been a heavy reading weekend, but we're chipping away wherever we can. Actually yesterday I had quite a lot of page count still done because of listening to the audiobook for The Labyrinth's Heart while doing some Lego, and then reading a bit in the graphic novel anthology, which of course the pages flip themselves more quickly that way. But so yeah, just thought I'd already start this vlog so that I didn't forget later, and so that I didn't have like an introductory clip like 6 days into the vlog or something like that, you know. But so yeah, let's just crack on. I'll show you some clips of my day, I guess, but you know, like it's not that exciting neither today to really have much footage of it neither. Hello, as you guys can see, I have the light in my eyes again, so not the perfect setup here, but we are just going to try and deal with it. But so, I'm not entirely sure that I introduced this vlog to you guys, so let's just start over, I guess, because it is like Saturday. Tomorrow is probably going to be the last day of this vlog, and I feel like I've done nothing in this vlog so far, so it's going to be mainly a weekend vlog, let's say it like that. So I started my weekend off by going swimming, as I always do yesterday, but yesterday I kind of wanted to, I did the longest distance that I've been doing over the past year, so a kilometer and a half. But I also kind of challenged myself occasionally to like do a lap faster, but my shoulders were definitely already hurting in the moment, so I only did like 3 times, and then I was like, okay, maybe this isn't the smart idea, maybe I should just like keep on building the distance a little bit longer before I try to build up also on the speed a little bit. And so yeah, my shoulders are very much hurting today. But for the rest, yesterday I had a pretty chill evening. I listened a little bit to one of my books, I read a little bit of one of my books, and then I basically watched some YouTube, and I watched day 2 of the Olympic trials for gymnastics for the US. So the plan is to have a really productive reading weekend, but the wish is also there to play some Elden Ring. So I think what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to set myself some base goals when it comes to my reading, and then if I have reached those by 7 o'clock in the evening, then I can play Elden Ring for the rest of the evening. I do also need to be cleaning, but I have an audiobook, so I can combine the audiobook with the cleaning. And I do also want to read basically. And I do also need to go and grab some stuff. I have a parcel that's delivered, but that isn't too far, and then I have books to return to the library. I might see if I can just like extend my loan on them, and then but I am also going to go to the grocery store to get some essentials. I typically get most of my needs from HelloFresh, and at work I have a place where I can get my lunch. But you know, there's some things like in terms of treats and Coke and stuff like that that I might want to go and grab. So yeah, those are things that we're doing this weekend. But first up, I'm going to have to film the new prompt roll for the star prompt, because that's supposed to go live today. There are 3 books that I've been focusing on this week. I'm still going through Blood Over Bright Haven, which is a carryover from the previous vlog. So my main goal for this weekend is to finish this one. I am just under halfway through this one, so main page count has to be in this book. Realistically speaking, considering I want to do a lot of cleaning, the Poison Song is going to be one that I'm going to be reading a lot more in, because that is the one that I'm going to be able to combine with those activities. And then thirdly, I also have Alone in Space by Tilly Walden, which is a graphic novel collection. Now, we are currently here on my board. I don't know whether you see much of that, but basically I am working on this black cluster over here at the moment. So I have gotten 2 squares of that. I will get 3 more. And then the Poison Song is going to be this white cluster over here. And then Alone in Space is going to be this yellow cluster. Finally unlocking this next star prompt for the next possible prompts. I will probably also do some prompt rolls during this vlog as well. My hope is to kind of find time for it, but I don't think I will. But to find time to potentially tackle some of those 1 or 2 space prompts that are clusters that are still left on my board. Either because I didn't fully complete a cluster, or because it's just a 1 space or 2 space cluster. Because there is like 1 2 space cluster that can earn me like 9 bonus points for completing the column. So ideally I will also get that one done at some point. So I don't know, I will definitely do my next roll, and then depending on what the result of the roll is, I might try to fit something in still this weekend, but who am I kidding? I'm gonna have so much to do already this weekend. But so yeah, I am going to be now focusing on Blood Over Bright Haven. It is 10 o'clock already. I'm hoping to read that until 12, then prepare lunch, do some cleaning, and then somewhere in the afternoon go back to Blood Over Bright Haven and get more pages done in that one. But so yeah, that's the plan. Sit back and relax, 'cause love is blinding. Touch the fire, burn your hands with the desire of the future. It's so bliss in this battle, and we're losing and searching for affection, but searching isn't finding. Sit back, relax, 'cause love is blinding. Searching for affection, but searching isn't finding. Sit back and relax, 'cause love is blinding. I was going to be productive, right? I feel like I have already been quite reading productive in any case, and I did also like clean the shower area of my bathroom. Ideally, I would still also do like the floors of my apartment, unload the dishwasher, reload the dishwasher, and do some laundry, I think. That would be ideal, but at this point in time, I am struggling with sleep. So we'll have to see. Maybe I'll just have to consider that like my weekend chores. And so if I can just do something else today, for example, unloading the dishwasher and reloading the dishwasher, then I should see that as a win. And then tomorrow I can do the floors and then some laundry. Sounds like a decent enough plan. You gotta take your wins where you can take them. But so, I don't think I have introduced Blood Over Bright Haven in this vlog already, but so this is a book, it's a standalone fantasy. It's considered to be like a dark academia fantasy, or like that's how I've been sold on this to some extent, but I don't really think it is dark academia. Nor is it light academia. It just has academia in it. So this is a book about a mage called Skiona, and this is a society in which women are very much like, let's say we just go back like, I don't know, 150 pages into 150 years into our past, and the ideas that people had about women and their capabilities back then. So women are considered to be, they have to run the household, they are emotional beings, they are not capable of logical thought, they are fits to maniacal fits, and so Skiona is the first mage who is about to make it into the position of high mage. So she's about to be elevated to a position of greater power, and this comes with its own sort of difficulties because of set preconceptions of her colleagues. And so her colleagues kind of see her as, you know, like a political choice, people wanting to kind of make a political statement, or that she kind of like seduced her way into this position. And so she has to deal with a lot of misogyny, has to deal with a lot of those prejudices of people against her. At the same time, she on her end is given a assistant, and her assistant is a Quen, which is a different culture of humans that live outside of this sort of like safe haven that they are currently in. And so her assistant is somebody who is very much being looked down upon by society. Society has its degrading, is that how you, degrading views on women, but it definitely sees these Quen as being much more inferior even. And Skiona, even though she is coming from a position of lesser power, still also perpetrates these views on the Quen on her end. She as a high mage is kind of tasked with trying to find like the solutions to some sort of a magical problem, and she throughout the search for a solution for this will be getting closer to her Quen assistant and hopefully tackling some of her prejudice views, some of her preconceptions. This book is very much a book that tackles the sort of like lies that you've been told all of your life. You know, it's a book that will have our protagonist uncover some deep dark secrets at the base her of her very existence, which I always enjoy those types of stories. I really enjoy also the fact that we have a protagonist like this here, a protagonist who is coming from a marginalized group within this society and is still unable to see the injustices being done to another marginalized group within society, and how that is then slowly kind of like unraveled and discussed throughout this book. So I am over halfway through it. I'm really enjoying it a lot. I have not been going through it very quickly over because I started this like in last week's vlog, and I've basically just been reading like a chapter a day or something like that. But now that I'm really like sitting down with it and just like taking larger swaths of time and being like, okay, I'm just going to read now. Like for the next 2 hours, I'm going to focus on Blood Over Bright Haven, for example, as I did this morning. Then the time really flies by, and I had read like 70 pages in one sitting, for example, which is definitely not something that I can do with just any book. So I'm definitely enjoying it a whole ton. I want to have somebody to talk to about this book, which I don't have, because there are certain observations that I want to make about it, or like about what the book is discussing, the thematics of the book, that I cannot do because of the fact that it touches upon spoilers, and spoilers that are like revealed, like 170 pages into the book. So definitely not something that you can just like mention here. It cannot even be vague about it here, I think, without no, I cannot even be vague about it here without revealing something. So yeah, that is my current read. As I said, I am feeling very tired, but I think I'm going to pour myself a cup of coffee. I didn't have one this morning, so I'll probably get a coffee, and I think I'm gonna make myself some ice cream as well. I had said that I was going to go to the library because I have to return some books. I do have to return those books, but I have extended the loan on 2 of them. Unfortunately, the one that I cannot extend the loan for is The Poison Song by Jen Williams, which is my other book that I'm currently reading. So I will have to incur a little bit of a fine for returning that late, because yeah, I'm not going to return it now when I still have like, I don't know, 200 pages to go in it or anything like that. So sorry for the person who has reserved it behind me. I will not let you wait for long. I'm expecting to still finish it this weekend, but I just cannot return it right now, okay? And then I said I was also going to pick up a parcel. I'm not going to do that. I might do that tomorrow, and then I would go to the grocery store. I'm not going to do that, okay? We are not feeling up to that today. Alright, everybody. I am going to try and roll again. Ow. My feet are cramping. So I am working on this one right now. Yeah, thanks, of course. So I'm working on the black cluster right now, but I also have this white cluster going on and that yellow one over there. So meaning that my next roll can be anything. I'm hoping for a roll that will fit that one, because I have one specific book in mind for that. I think with a roll 1 or a roll 6 I can get that book in, but probably there are other options as well, but let's just take the roll. I don't know whether I'll still read this book in this vlog, because that'll depend on what comes up. A 5. So a 5 is probably the prompt that I know least well. Prompt 5 is red cover for the black ones, new to you author for the yellow ones, and tavern or barn for the white ones. So I'd have to look that up to see if there's potentially a tavern or bar scene in there. Black clusters that I have access to is this one space here. I will have another space in here as well. Like this one I think I won't be filling in, and then I have the 4 space cluster over here. Yellow, I would have access to this one, which would actually be quite nice to fill that one up, because that gives me 9 bonus prompts. That I could probably do with The Glass Throne by Sarah J. Maas. I would have to read a little bit more into it, but I've read over 100 pages in it, and then I decided that I wanted to DNF. So I would still want to count it, and I don't mind reading a little bit more in it, potentially. And then, yeah, Tavern and Bar, I will have to look up whether I can fit something in there. So it is Sunday, it is already the afternoon. I have been filming some already. The camera has been overheating a lot already, so we'll see if it can hold out for this little update clip. So I do still need to do some cleaning today. I did like a small thing in the bathroom, but I should definitely do the laundry at the very least. But ideally I also wanted to do the floor, as I said yesterday. And I have played some Elden Ring today, and I managed to keep it to just an hour and a half, which was just like a half hour more than I had planned, so that was perfect. And I think that now I'll just like focus a little bit on reading. I am very close to finishing Blood Over Bright Haven. I got to the 400 page mark yesterday. I'm around the 450 mark at this point in time, so some 70 pages or so to go in that book, and I'm really enjoying that a whole lot. I feel like I've already explained to you guys what Blood Over Bright Haven is, right? But so yeah, I'm really enjoying that one. That one just has, like, you know, if you hate your politics and fantasy, stay clear of this book. But if you're a normal human being, then read this, because this one just, like, it's very political in its nature. You know, it talks about, you know, the glass ceiling and the difficulties of like being an outsider in society, and the way in which, like, the system is kind of set against you, and it deals with, you know, discrimination for racial reasons, and the way in which the establishment kind of looks down upon the people that they consider to be inferior, and the way that they exploit them, and the way that basically they kind of walk over their dead bodies, more or less, so to speak. And yeah, I have been really enjoying that one, and I've also really enjoyed how that one has definitely been having conversations about, like, wanting to see the best in people and people letting you down. Like, our protagonist is somebody who definitely shared a lot of views with the sort of, like, her superiors at the beginning of the book. The one thing that she had a different opinion about was the role of women, as she is a woman, but she definitely had the same sort of opinion about the Quen as her superiors had, and then her experiences with her Quen assistants have kind of opened up her eyes and have kind of let her views on them change over time, and she, for some reason, is kind of expecting, and she is kind of naive about what to expect from the people around her, because her eyes have been opened and she kind of feels like everybody will follow in her footsteps, whereas her Quen assistant has true experience of what people do to him and his people, has a very different opinion about that, a very different view, and I appreciate this book for kind of showing us that, and for kind of, like, letting our female protagonist do what she thinks she needs to do, and then kind of having that backfire against her, and having her proven wrong and him proven right in his assumptions about the way that people will react. So yeah, really enjoying that one. I'm very eager to see how this one will be kind of, like, rounding things off, because at this point in time, like, shit has hit the fan, like, everything is chaos. But so yeah, that is what I'm reading now, and then I'll do some of the cleaning that I mentioned while listening to an audiobook. My headset is charging right now, so that I can then dive into that one, and potentially, like, I don't think I'll still finish it today, but get a little bit further in that at least. And then I did that roll yesterday, but I have since checked, and the book that I want to use for the second star prompt does not have a tavern or bar scene, so I cannot use that roll for that book, so I will be using the yellow prompt for that. So I will be using the new to you author prompt to count the glass throne by Sarah J. Maas. And so I have also continued a little bit in that this morning, because then I want to get to the 200 page mark to be able to count a 2-space cluster for it, which will give me 9 points bonus. So yeah, that is the plan. So finishing Blood Over Bright Haven, listening to the other book, and then you know, taking breaks for eating, and potentially diving into another book also if I'm done with, like, the listening audiobook part of the evening. But so yeah, that's the plan. I'll check in with you guys to see how well or poorly I execute the plan. Alright, so it's Monday evening. I have finished Blood Over Bright Haven, which I gave 5 stars to. Really love that one a whole lot. I think it's really interesting. I think I love sort of Kaigen just a little bit more than I love this one, but I definitely think it's very interesting. And, you know, if you were somebody who liked Babel, for example, I don't see how you wouldn't like this one, because it touches upon similar themes, and won't necessarily say that it does it better than Babel. It just takes a little bit of a different approach to it. It definitely feels like a similar thematic work, but doesn't even necessarily take too much of a different approach, just like, you know, it's just its very own thing. And so reading it only reminded me of Babel because of those themes and the fact that it has that same sort of like academic setting. But yeah, I really enjoyed it a whole ton. I'm eager to see what Emma Wong will be coming out with next, because 2 for 2, her 2 adult books have both been 5 stars for me, so I'm hoping that that streak will continue, and I'm hoping that I'll have a new book by her soon, but I don't know whether she's currently working on anything already or not. And my cat is destroying my plants. Fate! And yeah, with that I'm going to be rounding off this video. Aside from that, I did make quite some progress in the Posen song. I think I might be finishing it still tonight. If not, I'll finish it tomorrow. I did not, like throughout the weekend in any case, read anything in Alone in Space, but I do feel like I made some progress in that in like the week, throughout the week. And then I did still continue on with Throne of Glass, which I've been calling the Glass Throne the entire time, but Throne of Glass I did like read a little bit more, so I'm on page like 165 there. So the goal is to get to page 200 and then we can DNF this one. It's not like I'm like having a horrible time with it, it's just like the way it's written and the way that this character just feels like the most, like the stupidest assassin ever, even though she's supposed to be the best assassin. Just makes for a like underwhelming experience with it, let's say it like that. But so yeah, that was it for me, guys. Let me know how your, what is it now, already 3rd week of Gamenightathon has gone, and yeah, I'll see you guys for the next one. Bye!